Sucre, Bolivia. We came here for 4 days, and that was 24 days ago. Needless to say that we really liked Sucre, Bolivia. It's a cute, safe, clean, nice little town. It's a small city, about 250,000 people, so, round about the right size for a city. The weather is really great here. It's one thing that we really liked. We were coming from Sucre, or from La Paz, which is super cold, and the jungle, which was hot and humid, and this is a nice tempered in between. All year long, beautiful weather. We haven't had a drop of rain or really clouds the whole time we've been here. Big thing, we survived our first party hostel. I'll call it a half party hostel. It's the Culture Berlin. It was a former German consulate that they changed into a hostel. Really neat thing. If you want to go someplace where there's absolutely no Germans, go to the Culture Berlin. Kind of surprised me at first. I expected there to be a lot of Germans there, but there's not a one in sight. But if you really start to think about it, if there was a American themed hostel with American flags everywhere, a big mug of Donald Trump in his mouth, if it's hanging up the wall with American culture, it is the last place I'd want to be. So, I don't blame them. For a while there, we were meeting at least a German person every single day. Or when we were floating down the Amazon, every single person on that boat, other than me and the guides, were all Germans. So it was kind of not neat to get away from the German people, but nice for me at least. There was a couple things I noticed there. Being a party hostel, there's lots of parties that go on like this. They also have traditional Bolivian dancing, some really neat things, but there was a very stark difference from the local girls that came there. Very well dressed, hair done, nails done, makeup done, in what I would call almost quasi prom dresses to go out clubbing. Interesting. You look at those people, and then you look at the gringo tourists. They're in travel clothes or South American themed sweaters. Big difference between them. One thing I noticed right off the bat with Sucre is there are bugs everywhere. I mean everywhere. There's bugs all over the street. Here they call them cucarachas, which is cockroaches in English. Here's some bugs. They also call them half an egg, so probably not the bugs you were expecting. But there are tons. They are all over the place. Classic bugs. Another thing I kind of noticed here, it's more Bolivia altogether and kind of South America, but the kids, very well presented kids. They go to school in collared shirts, pressed pants, slacks, skirts. I think about it and I compare it to American kids. If you were to ask American kids to wear a uniform that was a tie with a collared shirt and slacks, take some inner city kids from a big city in America, it would be chaos. It would be absolute chaos. But they take a lot of pride in how they look. There's also a lot of other German kind of culture things here. It surprised me a little bit. There's a German school where all the kids wear the German flag colored shirts. Lots of various things, pubs around town. They'll have Berlin or different things in the pub. A lot of general German culture, just not lots of German people. Interesting, because I swear there's more German people in South America than there are in Germany. I don't know how they do it. All this well presented people, the guy that's behind me right now, he's wearing a suit. These people are in a relatively poorer country. They make on average about $200 US, which that's not very much. But they all take a lot of pride in how they look and everything they do. really impressed me. Paying about 17% tax here, they have also a lot of social programs. There's not very many homeless people here or beggars, and that goes for all of South America because they get a standard income living if you don't have a job. They also have free college, free health care, all those things as an American that I thought were impossible and only something that you could get from like rich first world countries like Germany or Norway or the Netherlands, which is Holland for all the Americans out there. Well, let's just say all of Europe, or well, more all developed countries have all those things. Or well, I guess Bolivia does too, and Ecuador and Peru, and let's just say everywhere except for America pretty much has all these things. And it's a real surprise for me because as an American, I'm told by a lot of like news and media, like free college, it's so expensive and it's completely unattainable. But it seems everywhere in the world has those basic free education, which is important, and free healthcare, which is more important. It's nice to see that out of such a country where the people are so poor and they make so little that they can take that and put those things that are like important for life and important for everything going through the world. Education is very important, and the stifling debt that it causes a lot of Americans is a shame, really, and it's nice to see someplace that has it. A lot of South American towns, this being one of them, is set up kind of like a department store. Like the whole city is one huge department store. What I mean by that is if you want sewing supplies, you go to one street and they have all the cloth and sewing supplies and everything. Every business on that street is that. You need glasses or need to get your eyes checked, there's a street for that, and that's the only place you'll find glasses or where to get your eyes checked. Want to get your hair cut? Once again, there is a whole street with barbers on it, and you won't find barbers anywhere else. It's really interesting because in America, barbers are all spread out here and there. Not here. You only have to go to one place, and it makes shopping around really easy. You can go to one store, hey, how much is your haircut? Okay, you can go to the next store, and you don't have to walk anywhere because the whole street is barbers. Really nice. And I got my haircut. Apparently I went to the expensive place. It was 20 Bolivianos, which is come to next to
$4.
Nothing. Yeah, maybe $4. And Sucre is, I would put it on a must-see and something you need to do if you are a long-term traveler. Definitely a must-see. Great place to sit down, relax, not do very much. For short-term travelers, I don't know. It's a cute city, but there's not tons of stuff to do here. There's no Machu Picchu. There's no big Andes mountains to climb. They do have some treks, 7 waterfalls. You can go see some dinosaur footprints. We didn't do any of them. All of them seemed kind of so-so. What is there to do here? Sucre is the best place you can go to go get Spanish lessons. Spanish lessons here about 30 Bolivianos an hour, which is $4.40 an hour. There's the Recoleta. Recoleta is just a viewpoint. You can see the whole city. It's great. Go about an hour before sunset. They also have more foosball tables than you will see in your whole life in one place. Crazy. Lines and lines and lines of foosball tables. I don't know why. Next, there's a religious monument. It's Jesus up on top of a tower. Oddest thing for me. Even as a non-religious person, what people do to this monument was kind of sacrilegious and caused me to cringe a little bit, but they don't mean it that way. What they do, they all go there, they party, they drink, they leave litter everywhere. They also literally light the whole bottom of this thing on fire. You can see remnants of fire all along the outside of it, and you can smell it too. They literally light Jesus on fire, but they don't mean it in a bad sacrilegious, we're gonna burn Jesus kind of way. It's more of a praising him. Super odd. Oh, and chew lots of coca leaves up there, but everybody does that every day, all day around here anyways. I got to try my first real like coca leaves. Interesting experience. Nothing to write home about, but just interesting life experience, and that's what life is for, is to experience things. Condor Cafe, gotta say some words out there about it. Great place to go. All vegetarian, although you would never really know it. It took me 4 days to realize it, and it was after Mai pointed it out to me that it was a vegetarian place. They are a non-profit. They give back to the community. Good food, good coffee, great place to go and hang out, maybe meet people. Bolivia in general is also a good place if you want to buy your alpaca sweaters, or you want to buy, you know, your general like South American knickknacks, gifts, those sorts of things. They're all much cheaper here. Just make sure that they're actually alpaca. Everywhere in Peru, all the markets we went to, all the people said, oh yeah, 100% baby alpaca, 100% baby alpaca. And it was super cheap. And you look at it and you can tell it is only synthetic. Like, I don't think there's alpaca in some of those, like any. So just know what you're talking about. If you don't, find a local, somebody who knows what they're talking about, and ask them. We got lots of good heads up and tips on how to tell the difference in one of the free walking tours. So what did we really do here? Absolutely nothing. We tried to do as very little as possible. We watched all 6 seasons of The Walking Dead, marathoned all The Walking Dead. We watched probably 16 movies, the whole first season of Wayward Pines, all the Resident Evils. Yeah, so we sat and watched movies and didn't really do much with our time here, but that was fantastic. If you're traveling long term, it gets really tiring getting up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, trekking, hiking, doing something every single day. It's nice just to take some time and relax, and Sucre is perfect for that. I do have one thing to say about some of the people here. Oh, my grass is some of the people here are some of the nicest people we've met on the road, which was the exact opposite we heard. I know we talked about that in the last vlog, but I have to give a shout out to Renee. He is the owner of our Airbnb. Renee took time out of his day to tour us around town. We had lunch with his family probably 3 different times.
And dinner.
Yeah, we had dinner. They asked if I could come cook for them, which I love to do. So I made a like American meal, and my contributed spätzle for the German part. They wanted to know how to make some unusual things. For me as an American, as a cook, I just assume everybody knows them and has had them. Onion rings, they didn't know how to make them, had never had them. Huge shocker for me. Hamburgers, like I went through like how to make a hamburger, the whole thing. Taught them how to make fried chicken, like American style fried chicken, something that's apparently not really down here. Yeah, interesting things, lovely people. Renee even like took us on a tour of his work. It sounds super boring, but it was the water treatment facility for Sucre. Highly interesting. Highly interesting. Took a tour of the whole place, met the facility manager, got to test the water for like pH and chlorine levels. Interesting. Yeah, really nice guy, nice people. Can't say really more about Sucre and the town and everything. I did it. I accomplished that. I had huge notes, but I got them all done. All done. Look at that.
Yay!
Yay.
Good job, Kevin.
Yeah. You have anything to say?
No, I think we're ready. We rested for 24 days. Hi. Wow, that's a long video. I hope we'll cut that 15 minutes down to 10.
There's no cutting.
Anyways, we had a great time resting. 24 days here in Sucre. We are off to back to La Paz and actually do all the touristy things that we didn't do because we were so ready to just take a rest. Now it feels like we're going back on vacation, which we have been on vacation for the last 3 months. But yes, it was lovely. Sucre, thank you. Shout out to Renee, Anna and Claudia and everybody of the family that welcomed us. And in La Paz, we are going to ride the world's dangerous road. I'm pretty sure most tourists that have been to Bolivia know what we're talking about. And
Wait, I have to stop here for a second. 250 people die a year on this road. That is staggering. Staggering.
Anyways, yay, Sucre, and love the Bolivian people. So don't listen to all the other people who say Bolivian people are rude or mean or not welcoming. We have a great time, and we have another month here, so stay tuned.
Also, say hi to my vlogging puppy. He's just chilling under our bench. Love y'all. Gracias.